Working with Mapping Manager. Associating mappings. The agenda. Associating mappings covers associating code maps with data item mappings, associating reference tables with mappings, and linking requirements to mappings. Associating code maps with data item mappings. Click on the menu icon to access the DI modules. Go to Data Catalog. Click Code Set Manager. Before associating code mappings with a data item mapping, you need to publish the code map. Under the Code Mappings Workspace panel, click Code Set Mappings. Right-click the required code map. Click Publish. Publish Code Set Map page appears. Enter appropriate values in the fields. Fields marked with a red asterisk are mandatory. Click Save. The code set map is published, and it can be found in the Publish Code Mappings panel under the selected Published environment. The code set map is published in the Published Code Mappings panel under the selected Published environment. A new version of the code set map is created under the Mappings tree. Click on the menu icon to access the DI modules. Go to Data Catalog. Click Mapping Manager. Under the Workspace Mappings pane, click the required map. The center pane showing the mapping specification appears. In Mapping Specification Grid, click Edit. Right-click Header menu and select CSM Mapping checkbox. CSM Mapping column appears in the mapping specification. In the right pane, expand Code Mapping Catalog. Expand the category containing the code crosswalks to be associated with the data item mapping. Drag the code map into the mapping specification and drop it under the CSM Mapping column in the required row. Click Save and Continue in Mapping Specification. Code map is associated with the data items mapping. Working with Mapping Manager, associating reference tables with mappings. Reference tables must be published before you plan to link it with mappings. Click on the menu icon to access the DI modules, go to Data Catalog, and click Mapping Manager. Under the Workspace Mappings pane, click the required mapping. Mapping Specifications grid appears. Click to edit. Right-click the header menu and select the Reference Table checkbox. Reference Table column becomes visible in Mapping Specifications grid. Drag and drop the reference table from Reference Table Catalog to the required row under the Reference Table column. Click to save to continue. Mapping specification is saved and the reference table is associated with the mappings. Working with Mapping Manager, linking requirements with mappings. Link your functional requirements to data mappings, helping in enterprise-level traceability between requirements and mappings. Click on the menu icon to access the DI modules. Go to Data Catalog. Click Mapping Manager. Under the Workspace Mappings panel, click the required mapping. Mapping Specification grid appears. In Mapping Specifications grid, right-click Header menu and select Specification Artifact checkbox. Specification Artifact column becomes visible in the Mapping Specification grid. Click in the right pane, expand Specification Artifact Catalog. Expand the project node which contains the required specification. Drag and drop the specification on the Specification Artifacts column in the required row. Click to save and continue. Requirements are linked to the mappings. That's it. For more information, please visit irwin.com.